There are other areas that we need to look at. The farm subsidy programs need to be reviewed, and the Dick Commission came in with recommendations in that regard that I think are worthy of our review. And then there's revenues. And yes, I think we need to take a look at revenues. Our current income tax structure cannot be justified. As has been pointed out frequently, we hemorrhage as much revenue in our tax code as we raise. What do I mean by that? If you eliminated all the special provisions, you could cut the tax rates in half. In half. And since we had tax reform in 1986, we've added so many new loopholes and provisions and special interest provisions in the tax code. In '86, we attempted to lower the rates and make sure everybody paid their fair share. Well, it's now 2011 and we're out of balance. And we need to look at tax reform. I have urged us in looking at tax reform that we should look at consumption-based taxes. Now, I know the criticisms of consumption-based taxes, but let me just start by saying if we had consumption-based taxes to deal with some of our income tax revenues, we would be more competitive internationally. Because if you're an export company and you're choosing whether to locate here in America or to locate in another country, you pay income taxes here that can't be taken off the price of your product when you put it in the international marketplace. If you locate in another country that uses consumption taxes at a higher level than we do, we don't use it at all, but higher levels than our income taxes, that country will allow those exporters to take the tax off when they put their product into the international marketplace. And that's acceptable under the World Trade Organization, putting American producers at a disadvantage. We need to save more as a nation. We've heard over and over again the point made that America, during the height of our economic progress, had one of the lowest savings ratios in the world. We need to save more as a nation. Our tax code should encourage savings much more than it does today. I want to make it clear. I am totally committed that in tax reform, we make our tax code more progressive. I don't believe it's progressive enough. Progressive means that it is based, at least in part, to the ability to pay. So wealthier people pay a higher percentage of the tax than lower income people. Today, under our income tax, many people do not have to pay income taxes. Well, we can design a consumption tax so they won't have to pay the consumption tax. So there is no new tax burden. In fact, there are proposals out there that could take more people off the tax rolls. And by the way, this is a zero-sum game on revenue. Let's decide how much revenue we need, and let's raise it in the most cost-efficient way that will allow America to grow. That's the type of reforms that I hope we will be able to get into. If we do, it will mean not only bringing our budget into balance by a credible plan that deals with discretionary domestic spending and military spending, entitlement spending, and revenues, but does it in a way that allows America to grow.